Hey everyone, welcome back to another segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. I am your host, Sheniqua Inspires. And listen, I am excited to bring forth this encouragement for everybody just from a Black girl's perspective. And today I've got another fire starter. Listen, we have been bringing in some heavy hitters and they're bringing forth the encouragement. And I really hope that you're taking the time to listen and to watch all of the individual segments because there are gems in each of them. But today is extra special because I got my soror on the line. Yes, she is a beautiful woman of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So I have to bring on my soror, Lakisha. Hello, beautiful. There you
Hello.
go. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank
Listen,
you.
I am so honored to have you on the Black Girl Encourage Her because you are the epitome of encouragement. I tell people all the time, like, I'm bringing forth people who keep me encouraged because I think people have gotten a little glimpse into my life,
Mhm.
especially through social media, and they know me to be the motivator. They know me to be the inspirer, the encourager. They know that this is what I bring forward when I come through. But people always ask, well, how do you stay encouraged? Who encourages you? Who is inspiring you? Who keeps you motivated? Well, it's these powerful women that I have been blessed to be connected with. And I know we were at a conference previously together, someone
Mhm.
else's conference, and of course that blue and white love, we just meshed together, and it has
Yes.
been amazing ever since. So, Sora, please tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself so they get to know you and love you just as I do.
Well, hello, everybody. First of all, I am love.
Yes.
I am peace.
Hmm.
I am bold. I am beautiful. I am uncontainable. I am worthy. I am joy on steroids.
I love it. I love it.
I am Lakisha McGaney-Osei. As I told them last weekend, say your whole name. Let it
Amen.
roll off your lips. I am a mother, a sister, a auntie, a daughter. I am the master reflexologist of I Touched Souls and the curator of the Wrapped in Wellness experiences, of which we just celebrated our third rendition of that this past weekend. So I'm just here to be an encouragement, be an inspiration to people who I come in contact with directly, and for those that I may never meet.
Mhm.
I am Lakeisha.
Yes, there's so much in there that I would
Mhm.
love to just touch upon. But
Mhm.
first and foremost, I think I just want to talk about the Wrapped in Wellness Conference
Yes,
because it was pretty darn amazing,
it
if I must
was.
say so myself. You did a phenomenal,
Hmm.
phenomenal job. And for those of you who have ever hosted your own conference or who are thinking about hosting a conference, you understand that it's not an easy task. But to be
Hmm.
able to pull off a weekend long experience where people are able to come and to sit, they come empty,
Mm.
but yet they leave full. And even coming in from a speaker standpoint, as I was one of your guest speakers, I still receive, and I didn't expect to receive. So this is the thing. As a
Hmm.
speaker, you think that you're going like, so I come in full and I want to pour to everybody, and that was my only job. I didn't think that my cup was going to be filled back up,
Mm. Wow.
but it was.
But it was.
But it was. So that
Mm.
just speaks to the caliber, the intensity of this event that
Mhm.
you put together. Can you share with us just a little bit about the Wrapped in Wellness and why you started even doing that type of a thing?
Absolutely, and I'm thankful that you said what you said because that is why.
Mm,
I am a woman who has, worn many hats throughout her life. I have been to these different experiences, events, conferences, summits, but I really do focus on that this is not just another event. It is an
mhm,
experience, and I wanted to be able to curate something that did fill the cups of those who are constantly filling the cups of others.
mhm,
So to hear you say that that is exactly what you received, then Wrapped in Wellness is doing what it came to do. Because I
mhm,
don't want just the attendees to walk away feeling
mhm,
like they had the experience of their lifetime. I want everyone who is in that room, from the cameraman to the spouse that's just there thinking they're only there to assist, their
mhm.
loved one, and they're getting poured into just because they are in the atmosphere.
Yes.
So Wrapped in Wellness was created back in 2019 as a one-day experience, so that we can collaborate with individuals within the wellness industry, whether it's mental health, nurses, doctors, health coaches, bringing them all together in one space so that we can help fill these different wells that we all have, whether
Mhm,
it's move well, eat well, the mental well, loving well, just all these primarily 7 wells that I like to focus on. And you all did a phenomenal job pouring into
yes.
each and every one of them. So the larger event is an annual event that will be occurring annually. And then throughout the year, we have shorter experiences. We had our first outdoor half day retreat back in the fall. That was phenomenal, down by
Mm,
the water, being outside. We had a trauma and grief coach come in and talk about that because over the past couple of years, we have all experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of
yes.
death, a lot of transition, and people
Mhm,
are still grieving. Like,
yes.
yeah, we outside, but we not outside the
We're
same.
not the same.
We are not the same.
For sure,
We are
for
not the
sure.
same. So,
Yes.
Wrapped in Wellness is there. We do it this version at the beginning of the year to help you reset, rejuvenate, and then set forth your intentions for the rest of the
Mhm.
year.
Love it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. So it definitely was an impactful event. And now tell us a little bit. And I know this is not the usual format that I go into, everyone, but I mean, she just got a lot going on. And I want to make certain we clear as we moving forward. Tell us about this reflexology. What's the
Ooh.
deal with that?
That's my baby right there.
Yes.
Reflexology, I touch souls. So I
Hmm.
touch souls was birthed out of, returning to get my health coach certification. And there was a module where we started focusing on different modalities that you can possibly go into. And believe it or not, I looked at reflexology almost 15 years ago,
Mm.
and thought about it. And then, life happens.
Hmm.
And then for that health coaching experience with Legacy to bring it back into my forefront, I was like, this is still something I want to do. So after graduated from there, I got certified in reflexology, got my certificate for that. My goal this year is to be board certified
Mm.
as well. That is a big goal of mine for this year because I do want to eventually teach others how they can master um, the pressure points in our hands, our feet, and our ears to help release energy, to help people, with insomnia, to relax,
Mm.
to relieve stress. So reflexology is more like acupressure or acupuncture because you are focusing on specific pressure points in the hands and feet. And you can also do it in the ears and on your face because there's pressure points there as well. very ancient modality that has been around for thousands of years. Even in the hieroglyphics in the Egyptian pyramids,
Yeah.
you see people manipulating the feet, basically doing foot reflexology. And so people come here, they come down here to the wellness suites and they join me, and I put them in a very relaxed setting, and they spend an hour to an hour and 15 minutes laying on the bed, peaceful as I manipulate those feet and toes. And when I tell you these magic hands put you
Wow.
to sleep every
Hmm.
time. Like I have a
Wow.
100% rest rate when you leave out of here. That's what I like to say. 100% rest
I
rate.
love
You
it.
will get the rest that you've been desiring
Wow.
when you come see me at I Touch Souls. And I just, and I love the strength of the foot. It is our foundation. It's
Hmm.
what's holding us up throughout the day. We walk on them, we run with them. You might kick them every now and then at somebody,
Hmm.
but do we pay attention to them?
No.
Do we pay attention to them?
And it's
Like
different from a
mhm,
pedicure, right? Because I know some people are
yes.
like, well, I go get a pedicure every month or
Mhm.
every couple of weeks. This is
This is
different.
different.
It's
No,
not it's not a massage, right?
no.
It's a maneuvering
Yes, it
of the
is a
pressure
maneuvering.
points.
Yes.
Wow.
So, I'm taking my thumb and I'm thumb walking that thing
Mhm.
into the
Mhm.
point. If I come to a point where I feel a blockage, then I'm gonna rest there. We're gonna
Right.
sit there for a second,
Wow.
and then let the body do its work. And it will
Wow.
continue to do its work, even once you leave my space. And so typically I have clients that come bi-weekly, monthly, and you just, can preset your appointments up. But yeah, it's an experience to have. I encourage you to find, even in your local area, you can find a reflexologist. If you're in the DMV area, you can
Mhm.
look me up. I Touch Souls on Facebook and Instagram. And
Right.
I do mobile for something. So
Nice.
if you want to do a small group of you, just want to experience it together, I can do a private setup for that as well.
Nice. Nice. I
Yeah.
love it. Now, one thing, and we're gonna get into the encouragement, but this to me is what people need.
Hmm.
Because we carry so much tension, and
Yes.
sometimes we have tension that we don't even know we have tension. We just grown accustomed to it, and we got
Mhm.
them bumps in them, and we thinking that's just normal. No, it's because of the stress that we've been enduring and just kind of
Mhm.
pushing down. So this is a way of releasing. Now, one of the things that you did at your Wrapped in Wellness conference was
Mhm.
you demonstrated the foot, like how you
Mhm.
do it in the foot, but you also gave us a tip about where we can touch in our
Mhm.
hands to release some of that stress. Can you show that again? Because I was trying to do it
Yes.
one day when I was a little tense at work, and I wanted to make sure I was
You
getting the
was
right
doing
spot.
right, because you wanna hit the right spot, that
You
sweet
want to get
spot.
the right spot.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so basically, usually right below that line that runs at the top line that runs across, if you slide down to the center, this is our
Mhm.
solar plexus. If you're familiar with chakras, your solar plexus, you can find your solar plexus in your hand and in your foot. And so this is actually how I start off sessions, even on the foot. So right mid foot, mid hand, mid palm, you just want to apply some pressure there. And you just have your hands guided on the back, and then you want to apply pressure down here and just sit with it. Again, take the time to just sit with it, breathe. Can do the 4-second breathing, which if you're not familiar with that, you want to inhale for 4 and then release for 4 and blow it out. So inhale through your nose, blow out through your mouth for a count
That's
of
so good.
4, and do a few repetitions of that, for at least 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Do a few repetitions for that. And you will literally start to feel your body to begin to relax.
I love it.
Yes.
That was important.
Mhm.
Listen, I
Yes.
needed to. When I got connected with her, I was like, I need her to do that on here. So, I
Yes.
thank you for that because
Mhm.
helping us to deal with this stress and
Mhm.
helping us to alleviate. Like that's the way the body is going to
Right.
heal itself. So
Yes.
I
And to
love
that
that.
point, I just wanna say when you said
Mhm.
that, you release, you really do.
Mhm.
I always tell people you're in a safe space
Yes.
because yes, I'm there to provide the service of reflexology, but anything can happen in that room. And so I
Mhm.
want people to know that they're in a safe space. And some people react differently. Once they get into that very relaxed state, once the pressure is going. I mean, I had someone who they spent almost half their session just crying in tears
Mm.
because it just was something that hit them
Mm.
in that moment, and I just allowed them to do that and release. So you just never know what will
Yes.
occur, but this is a space of healing. It is a space where you can feel comfortable coming to, and know that you will be well served and well covered while you're here.
Amen. And you know what? Sometimes people need a good cry.
Mhm. They
They
do, they
bottle that
absolutely
thing up
do.
inside. And I remember there was a time, one of my former students, when I was training health coaches, she had came to visit me. And during the class, she was a very tough woman,
Right.
very, just tough, like nothing bothered her. You get in her face, she's going to get back in your face. Like she just had that kind of persona about her. And surprisingly enough, she came back. She was in the building and she stopped by to see me. And when I
Mhm.
saw her, just doing what I normally do, I just went and I hugged her.
Mm.
And just from that embrace, when we released from the embrace, she had tears coming down
Mhm.
her eyes. And she hadn't noticed that she was crying. And when she did notice that the tears was there, she started instantly trying to get back into that tough exterior. And I was like, "You good?"
Right.
Because clearly she needed that.
She
So some
needed it.
people probably need that
Mhm.
touch
Mhm.
to help them to
Yes.
release it, you
Yes.
know? Mm.
That touch is, and a sacred touch
Mhm.
is powerful.
Yeah.
And we have to realize that people went weeks, months, some people went a
Yes.
year without anyone
Yes.
else touching them out
Mhm.
of isolation, out of fear,
Yep.
out of,
Mm.
just not being able to get to your loved ones during the holidays. So, that overwhelming, just think about it. Many of us couldn't travel.
Yeah.
Many of us can't wait for those certain times of the year because that's when you know you're going to be embraced by everyone in your
Yes.
family or embraced by friends that you do annual events with. And that didn't happen for
Yeah.
not 1 year, but 2 years.
Yep.
So just imagine all that has been bottled up
Mhm.
because something happens when the body truly experiences a hug, the release happens, and they say
Yes.
a good hug lasts at least 20 seconds. So that's why
Yes.
when I do, I like to lean into it, like we're gonna sit here a
Yes.
minute.
Put your back into it,
Put
honey.
your back into it, and that's why I do that exercise. Even yes, we're COVID, we want to be mindful, but if you're comfortable with it, give the hug. If you're comfortable with it, if you're not, you just say that. But if you're comfortable with it, give it 100%.
Yes.
It's
I
enough of
love it.
the churchhood pad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Just
need some
really
good
sit
old
with it.
embrace. Yes,
'Cause
to
that
make up
literally may be the only hug that
for. Mhm.
someone will get, and that hug, it will be a source of encouragement for
It
somebody.
will. It
It
will, and
absolutely
certainly.
will.
And then it passes on. So you
Mhm.
get encouraged and then you're able to go encourage other people. So it's such a beautiful thing. Now, we started it off on a high note.
Yes.
Life is good. You got these conferences going on. They're major
Mhm.
success. They're blessing people. But Lakeisha,
Hmm.
look, we all know we've all been through some stuff. People always see us when we're on the stage and the spotlights are glowing, but they don't realize that we go through some ish too.
Yeah, oh,
So
yes.
tell us about a moment where maybe you were down in your spirits and you didn't always feel so encouraged, and then give us some tips on what you did to come back to the light.
Mm. I could the most recent example is literally Wrapped in Wellness 3.0,
Mhm.
the overflow. And
Mhm.
it's this one was the overflow, just to give you some background, because last year was or the year before, last January was Wrapped in Wellness 2.0 was Meet Us at the Well. So we met at the well, and then I was like, oh, no, we ready for the overflow now because we
Yes.
met at the well. And so when I was looking forward to doing it last fall in November, I got in a car accident.
Mm.
And so the event was going to be in later that month. And so I transitioned, moved it to January, thinking, oh, I'll be ready. But I wasn't.
Mm.
I was walking around with a severe concussion.
Wow.
My therapist, my concussion therapist, they use the machine that they use for the NFL, for the military, to determine the severity of your concussion. And it rates you 1 to 100.
My God.
100 being, you're at your best, is very mild. Well, I barely scored a 1.
Wow.
So when I say to people I had a severe concussion, I had a severe concussion. And the first week or so, I was still just kind of walking around, still trying to go to work, but I knew
Mm.
something was wrong with me. And so it all made sense once he put me on that machine.
Wow.
And I couldn't figure out, I started never had migraines before, had severe migraines to the point my son had to call 911 twice. And he
Mm.
was like, I was groaning and moaning so much. He was like, I thought somebody died because that's how you sound when, such and such passed away. So
Wow.
he was so scared. So all this is going on in the background, but yet I'm still trying to convince myself that
You're gonna host some
I'm gonna
conference.
host this event. Imma be alright by the time it comes. So
Mhm.
I wasn't. So when I tell you, one of the hardest things I had to do, and again, because that's us just being stuck inside of our heads, I was like, I already moved the date from November to January. So now I have to say I gotta cancel it
Mhm.
completely. A lot of things on your head. Is anyone gonna trust me to do an event again? Are they
Right.
gonna have confidence in me doing again event again? Um and anyone, everyone got refunded and all that. But the thing is, people, because it happens to a lot of people,
Yeah.
set up events just to collect fees and then they never happen. And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't want people to think that's how I run my business.
Right.
So all these things are going through your head and it can
Right.
be quite, it can
Yeah.
be,
We
quite
beat ourselves
turbulent.
up
We
better than
beat
anybody can.
ourselves up, honey. So when I tell you all that is going through my head, but yet I was like, okay, I'll just do it virtual. Well, you go into a concussion therapist who already you can't even look at a screen for 20 minutes. So why do you think
Mhm.
you're gonna now host a virtual event for about 6 hours of the day on a
Right.
computer that you can't even look at for more than 15
Mhm.
minutes? So that was one of the hardest thing, was to craft that email to say, you know what, we're gonna have to, cancel this for now.
Mm.
It's just not gonna happen. That was one of the hardest things for me to do, was
Wow.
to say that it's just not gonna happen because it was out of my control.
Mhm.
It was really out of my control. And the thing is, I got in a car wreck where, I didn't have bruises, I didn't have a broken arm, I didn't
Yeah.
have a cast, but my mind was not
Mm.
well.
Mhm.
My mind was not well. I was
I felt that. My
experiencing,
goodness.
what do they call it? Where the room spins and stuff.
Like vertigo.
Vertigo.
Mhm.
So there was days where I would literally feel myself sit in bed, like
Mm.
sit up, and then it was like 1,000 tons of bricks would just slam me back down
Wow.
without my control. And that happened for several days in a row.
Mm.
And then my doctor explained to me, he was like, there's kinda like a shakeup that can happen in your brain,
Mhm.
and, it's probably displaced. So, we did exercise to kinda move that back. But it was like, no one knew that. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
sit up in bed, and my body just loses control and just slams me back.
Because when they
Mhm,
look at you,
mhm.
you're not exhibiting any physical symptoms. Like you said, you don't have
Exactly.
any cuts, any bruises. And I think most of the time when people are injured, it's acceptable when you got a cast on your arm or
Yes.
you can see the bruising or the discoloration. But
Mm,
it's those hidden
mm.
injuries,
Yes.
that those silent injuries.
Mhm.
And I believe today that I've got some people watching on the line who are suffering through silent injuries.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, like there was something going on in your mind. So
Yes.
on the outside, you got your face made up, you show up to
Mhm.
work, your hair is looking good, your nails is done, and everything appears to be well. But it's those silent
Those silent
scars,
yeah.
those silent wounds that
Mhm.
nobody would believe you. They won't believe that
Right,
your
people
hair
look
is.
at you funny. You're like, "You
Yeah.
still out of work?" It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
it's
think
like,
you just
yes,
fooling
I was out
around.
of work for 3 months. For 3
Wow.
months, after about a month of, therapy, they attempted to send me back to work, and only for 4 hours. I
Mm,
went into work for those 4 hours. So overstimulated, I ended up back up in the, emergency room that night. He said, "It's too soon. You're just not
not worth
ready.
it.
You're
Yeah,
just not
wow.
ready, and it's not worth it. Take the
Mm.
time to heal." And honey, I don't know about nobody else, but you only get one mind. Ain't nobody doing no mind, brain transplant.
Exactly.
You might
Exactly.
transplant a kidney, a lung, but the
Yes,
brain,
yes, they
so I
can't
said,
get their
"Baby,
mind back.
we will F,"
Yeah.
and this is I wanted to this I'm very serious about this.
Mhm.
You have FMLA.
Mhm.
Use it,
Mhm.
people.
And people don't know you can use
Use
it for mental
it.
health.
You have 12 weeks to use.
They
I
only think it's for
You
maternity
need
leave. That's
to
the only
use
time
it.
people ever use
Yes.
it.
Honey, use
Yeah.
it. That's what it's
Yeah.
there for.
Mm.
That is what it's
Mm,
there
mm, mm.
for. And if you take some time, sometimes you just don't take those spurts of mental breaks that you know you need,
Mhm.
life will be so much better because you won't keep
Mhm.
waiting for things to build up, build up, build up till you can't take it anymore.
Mhm.
So that concussion taught me a lot.
Wow.
It taught me a
Wow.
lot, and so I rested, I gave myself time that I needed, and I was very clear that even when I returned, that I was not gonna push myself. So even when
Yes.
I went back finally in March 1st, I went out of work officially on December 7th and did
Mhm.
not return till March 1st. That's how long it took where I could get through a 4-hour day. And
Wow.
even then, I was still wearing shades to work because I couldn't take
Mm.
the lights. They'd covered the lights for me to create a filter so the LED lights wouldn't be so bright.
Wow.
But, I wore shades the rest of the school year. I worked
Mm.
with my lights off,
Wow.
but I was encouraged that, "But you are here.
Mm.
You're able to get up
Yeah.
and go to work even if it's for 4 hours." And
Mhm.
then I built it to 5 hours, but never did do a full day that school year ever again,
Okay.
not into the new school year. So all this is happening and people see me on Facebook and they think, "Oh, life is," yeah, but I haven't worked in 3 months,
Wow.
I
But they're
don't
like, "Girl, when's the conference? You're not putting the how's she canceling the conference?"
Right,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, and
they don't
so
see the hidden battles.
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so the encouragement is we did it this year. Like when I
Mhm.
said to you all, you don't know how special it is to be able to see it come into fruition,
Mhm.
to even get in front of you guys and speak. I was stuttering a lot.
Mm.
When the accident first happened, I started noticing I started stuttering more, and
Oh.
so then I was like, "Oh gosh, I don't even wanna do my show because I don't know when I'm gonna stutter, I don't know if I'm gonna get a headache right in the middle of an interview." So all those things had to kinda heal themselves, but just show me just be patient with yourself,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
truly, when they talk about self-love, self-care, at any cost, that should be your priority.
Yes.
That should absolutely be your priority. So to see it happen this year, to have people, say yes, and believe in the mission and the purpose of Wrapped in Wellness, that was an encouragement to me. Because when you're doing all the work behind the scenes and, ain't no sense in having something if it ain't nobody there in the room.
True indeed,
So
because it's for other
it's
people,
for other
right? It's for
people.
them,
Yes.
absolutely.
So I did. I pivoted because, Imma be very transparent. When you are setting up these events, you feel like, I know it's good. I know they about to be fed. I got
Mhm.
all these exceptional bomb sisters coming in here, was
Yeah.
trying to get some brothers, but it didn't work out. But, all these exceptional people, I know what you're gonna get if you just show
Mhm.
up.
Mhm.
But who is there when you like, "Okay, we ain't sold a ticket yet.
Mhm.
Are we gonna sell a ticket? Is
Yeah.
anybody gonna be there?" So all those things, your event planners are dealing with. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some things that'll sell out just like that. I mean, but you have to stay encouraged and you have to
Yes.
pivot. And so I pivoted.
Yes.
Because it was more important to me that the people who needed to be in the room found a way in the room,
Yes.
you know?
Phenomenal. And there will
Yes.
be a Wrapped in Wellness 4.0, correct?
Oh, absolutely. We
Yes.
are already
Yes.
planning. You guys, I had so many visions come to me. For one, I'm a South Carolina. I'm a Carolina girl. I'm from South
Okay.
Carolina. I'm from a small town, and we're used to all these things happening, in the DMV in New York. We have all
Mhm.
these, events and experiences, but something hit me that Monday afterwards. Your people in your small towns, they need this stuff too.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
from a small town, Mullins, South Carolina, on the way to Myrtle Beach. Y'all saw it. Y'all saw it on the way to Myrtle
Like,
Beach.
keep your eyes open, you'll
Keep your
see it.
eyes on when you on Highway 76 or 301 and it say Mullins, Marion Dillon. To say, oh, Lakisha's from Mullins. So I said, I have to do something, a version of this, even if it's a one
Mhm.
day event. I
Mhm.
want to bring it, to Marion County, to Mullins. Even if we do it at the beach and people come to the beach, but I
Mm.
want to do it in that area,
Mhm.
and I want Wrapped in Wellness is gonna be a signature event throughout
Yes.
the world. I'm not gonna
Amen.
say just the States, but the world. I wanna look at hosting one in Atlanta. I wanna go to small town South Carolina,
Yeah.
and then we will also be doing, smaller group under 10 or under, like international retreats so
Yeah.
that, we can get away and really dig in. Because we had, like I said, some phenomenal speakers, and
Mhm.
I'm just hoping that, as the team of speakers builds, that we have individuals who believe in it and want to stick with us and come back year after year, because people need this.
They
They
do.
absolutely need this.
And what's
I
funny about
I
it,
needed it.
yes,
I
people
needed it.
don't know it. They don't know
Mhm.
what they don't really know what they need. Like, you don't know what you need until you experience and say, that's what I've been missing. That's what I've been
Yes.
needing. So
Mhm.
I do encourage everyone to stay connected with you, to get into the room. Like, you're doing the work, right? You're
Right.
bringing forth the people. You're gathering. You're creating the experience. They just need to show up. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna say, when she announced that she's releasing the tickets, when it's
Mhm.
open, when the doors are open, I want everybody running to get their ticket where she doesn't have to worry about the last minute, are people coming, are they not? No, they're in the room. It's sold out months in
Mhm.
advance
Yeah.
because these are the individuals who are committed to their wellness, even if they don't know, the who, what, when, where, or why. They just know where to go and
Yes.
where to show up, and then the rest of it's going to be figured out for them. I think it's phenomenal, all of the work that you're doing. So before we go, Lakisha, is there any other words of encouragement? Because you were just talking and you were encouraging and inspiring us. But do you have any words in particular that you want to share with the people who are tuned in today?
I do actually. I'm gonna read something from my book, my last book,
Yes.
The Great 48. And I just want you to think about it because I talked about how, it had to be canceled, rescheduled, canceled again, reschedule. And I just want you to know that a delay is not a denial, that there is work going on even in the stagnation that you think you're experiencing. And before I do that, I'm just going to share, because I'm so serious about this in 4.0 that any of your audience listeners today, I'm going to just drop down here that they can you can reserve your seat right now today for
Mm,
Wrapped in Wellness
come on
4.0
now.
for just it's going to be a small non-refundable deposit to just say, I know I need to be there.
Yes.
I know I'm going to get the details, but I want to lock in this price because you're going to want to lock it in
Yes.
because
Yes.
this will be the deposit that will go towards your total cost. But you can send this in and make sure you put your email on your whether you Cash App or Zelle to lock in your space, and it will be honored, and you will receive then the discounted rate that I'm going to offer to those who did actually show up in the room this year,
Awesome.
if you do this. So I'll send that to you to share. But I'm going to read again. I wrote this book called The Great 48, 48 Life Lessons on the Journey to Amazing. And this book was inspired when I was approaching my 48th birthday. I said, I want to start this is like my 2-year countdown to 50. So I wanted to do 48 life lessons that I did. And on lesson 22, it is titled, A Delay is Not a Denial. I write poetry too, y'all, so this is a poem.
Nice.
So a delay is not a denial. She hasn't come into her own yet. Well, they graduated 2 years ago. He's still living at home. Oh, they were married this summer. The business is doing well. Did you get your promotion yet? Their son graduated magna cum laude. It's been a hard road of recovery. Love has not found me yet. We're not qualified for the loan again. Sweet ride you have there, sis. The GED test is this week. I never seem to be considered. I got the job. We are expecting. Love has found me again. I finally visited that island. I wrote the book. A delay is not a denial. So when it comes to success, it will come when it comes. A delay does not mean a denial.
Mm,
Les Brown said that. And I wrote that and was inspired by that because don't just watch what other people are doing and like, I haven't caught up with them. Focus on your journey. You
mhm,
got your GED, they got their college degree. Be excited that you got your GED.
mhm,
They got the house, but you were able to pay your rent this month. Be
mhm.
excited that you were able to pay your rent. So
Amen.
don't be so focused on someone else's journey and forget all the successes that you're experiencing in your own. And even when it feels like it's a delay and it's not happening fast enough, know that that delay does not mean that you're going to be denied your promises.
Mm.
Peace and blessings.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm telling you that just made me feel good when
Mhm,
it shifted to the positive. It was like,
mhm.
oh, just all of the accolades. It just felt good.
Mm.
I thank you so much, Sora, for
Thank
being
you.
here. This just means the world to me to be able to bring forth women who can encourage
Mhm.
everybody.
Yes.
We're encouraging everybody from
Yes.
every walks of life, from the young to the old, from whatever complexion, race, wherever you come from. We're encouraging everyone. We just so happen to be doing it from a Black girl's perspective.
That's
That's all.
right.
That's
And we do
all.
it well. We
We
do
are
it well.
doing it
'Cause I wanna
so
say
well.
hands off, hats off to you,
Mm,
'cause you like you said, you are a phenomenal inspiration,
mhm.
motivator. You came into the room exactly how you said you were gonna come into the room, bold and confident, and you were gonna make sure that you got what you came for, and
Yeah.
they did. So you continue to do the good work that you're doing.
And look what I got here
And
to sit here on
yes,
my table.
yes. Yes, ma'am. She
I
was our
yes.
2022 recipient of
Yes.
our Holistic Wellness Champion Award. We give out 3 phenomenal awards each conference, each experience, and so I was so honored to present that to you because it's well deserved. Because the
Thank you.
magnitude of what you're doing and the different streams that you've
Mm,
created to do it within the wellness space is amazing. It's amazing.
amen.
And
You
we have to see our people and
mhm,
give them their flowers while they're here
mhm.
and not wait for other people to lift them up.
That's so true.
Yes.
It's so true. It was definitely a surprise.
Mhm.
It was an honor.
Mhm.
I'm still on high from it, okay? But I'll probably be on high the rest of the year because
You
of it. So if you
should.
all see me smiling, it's because I'm like,
Right. Girl, take it everywhere you go. You can take it
yes.
wherever you want.
And I laughed and I said, because I leave it on my dining room table, and my kids they come down and they see it, and I said I need them to know that their mama is somebody. I
Yes.
mean, I'm not just the chef, the chauffeur, the housekeeper, and everything. Like I am somebody, and the people in the community enjoy that somebody. So I keep it here just as a reminder for
Reminder.
them that they gotta treat me right because people are giving me high awards, so
High
they better
honors.
they better
High
treat their mama
honors.
right.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
But I am excited. I hope everyone was encouraged. Sora, again, thank you so much for being a special guest. And we'll definitely make certain that we're hearing from Lakisha really, really soon. So
Yes.
you all, let's just stay encouraged. Let's make certain that we are being a blessing to one another, that we are doing what it is that we are called to do. So again, I say thank you to each and every one of you, because there's so many other things that you could have been doing or watching at this time, but you took the time to stop by to get some encouragement. So again, I am Sheniqua Inspires, and this is the Black Girl Encourage Her, where we are giving forth that encouragement for everybody. We're just doing it from a Black girl perspective. I want you all to make certain that you tune in for the next amazing segment of the Black Girl Encourage Her. And while you're here on my YouTube page, do not forget to check out my podcast, Sisterly Sundays podcast, which streams every Sunday, so that you can get some more encouragement and more inspiration to keep you going throughout the week. So, you all, until next time, be blessed, and I'll see you again real soon. God bless.